I told my parents that I was going to Colorado and I was going to climb 55 mountains, and I was going to do it to help myself overcome my eating disorder and reconnect with God. In my heart, I knew it was something that I had to do. I was always on a diet or I was always splurging. I just was stuck in a cycle of binging and purging and binging and purging. And I got into such a serious depression that I contemplated suicide. I noticed in 6th grade my body issues. One day I couldn't fit into my clothes, and I came into the living room sobbing to my mom about how I couldn't fit into my clothes. So in 7th grade, I started dieting, and the dieting never ended. Exercise became a way to adapt my body, to get my body to change the way I wanted it to, or to just keep the unwanted pounds away. I would exercise for 3 hours and then twice a day sometimes. I couldn't afford to waste 6 hours of my day anymore on exercising. Like, I needed to do schoolwork. And so that's when the idea came into my mind about actually purging my food. I was definitely at a new low. I had felt an emptiness like I had never felt before. And I just knew that there had to be more to life. I knew that there had to be more to my life and the potential there. And I knew God was missing. I knew that He was the only thing that could fill my heart. I grew up going to church. I know God exists, but I'm going to put Him over here and keep living the way I want to live my life. I knew that I had bulimia because I had seen documentaries or movies based on eating disorders, and it was so bizarre to come to realization that that was a part of my story, because I remember seeing those movies and thinking, why would they ever do that to themselves? Which is a joke. You can't control an eating disorder like that. Eventually it consumes you, and mine turned into a cycle of an addiction. I really did need to get help, and I had never been so depressed in my life, and was actually suicidal, and made the decision with my parents to go get help for my eating disorder. They really helped me kind of redefine, pretty much find myself again and who I am. And I lost myself in the eating disorder. Kind of consumes you. It takes over your life, it takes over your thoughts. And so I was finally on the road to recovery, but I kept having relapses. I knew something had to change. Something that meant more to me than the eating disorder. And that's where the dream kind of was born, to go back out to Colorado and really spend time with God. I had to really come to terms with the food consumption, because I knew I was packing light and I thought I could get by. And I remember just cursing out loud out of frustration and being tempted to hit my spot tracker button for a helicopter come pick me up, because I just had it. And I was like, I'm gonna die out here. And so I had to confront my demons and be like, if you really want to do this, if you really want to hike all of them, you need to give your body what it needs or it will never make it. I just knew that if I wanted to prove to myself that I could overcome this, if I wanted to prove to myself that I could climb all 55, and my family and my support team that I could do this, then that transition had to happen, and food became fuel to me. Climbing the mountains and not abusing food like I was has allowed me to do the same when I came home. I would just pray on my walks. I mean, that's how many miles, I can't remember what I added up, 500 plus miles that I did. And so there's a lot of time for prayer and a lot of time asking for strength. I actually am thankful for my eating disorder because it forced me to find out who God really was. And it forced me to become a stronger person. And that's why I'm here, because I want that for everyone. I want everyone to feel the overwhelming love God has for them. And it doesn't matter what you've done wrong in your life. He loves you no matter what, and He can help you through anything. And that's why on this journey it was so important for me to have God to be a part of this, to connect with Him, to be my rock, to be my support, and to really rely on Him and not others, not my own strength. I mean, the things He did on this trip, I have those stories to take with me to tell my testimony of how real God is. You just have to open yourself and open your mind, and it becomes this undeniable truth. Just the freedom that I feel and the determination I have, it could never be coinciding with this darkness that I had within me. And just that's what I want for people, is to not be afraid of the things that you hold inside of you. Just let it out, because your life will be so much fuller for it. Freedom comes when you allow the darkness within you to come out, and the things that you're most afraid to share, the things that you feel the most shame about, are actually the things that will set you free.